This video is all about the herbs, okay? The herbs that witches use and shamans use and priests and priestesses and spiritualists and warlocks, whatever the spiritualist name they want to go under, and the conjurers, they definitely use herbs. So, and root workers. So if you say you wanted to, if you're going to do some work, you need to, if you're going to conjure, okay, if you're going to conjure, you're going to do root work, if you're going to do any kind of supernatural work, you need to be familiar with some of your herbs. So save yourself a whole lot of heartache. You know what I'm saying? Look, you need to know that these herbs got spirits in it. They got spirits, spirits inside of them, okay? And they know you, but you might not necessarily know them. They can see, feel, and smell you, okay? But a lot of us are not aware of it. If you want your work to work, you got to be aware that they are living and they are listening to you and willing to do your biddings if you once again connect with that herb, okay? Y'all know my favorite herb, okay? The name of it is marijuana, okay? They had none so long. Good God Almighty! I don't know when they won't even. I can't get nobody to get me none. Nobody even give me any. I know, but I have noticed something about that herb. Like I said, there's a spirit in that herb. You understand what I'm saying? And it can, you can go under a serious possession depending on what herbs you are taking. Somebody told me they wanted some of them. I had at one time I had nightshades here, and I would actually eat them. I hear, oh, it's so poisonous. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do this, okay? Be cautious, and I am not promoting this, but there was a nightshade that I would eat called Dantura, and I sent them some, and you can eat them and actually, just enter into other dimensions, other worlds, or whatever. But it's a very difficult plant to grow. You can get some off of eBay if you want to. It may be a little bit too late. Usually you can find them on countrysides, in little, they grow in desolate places that are not maintained, right off the road. Is for some reason they like to be right off the road, on the street, right close to the road. You know what I'm saying? Like here I am. Would you like some? But now they'll tell you that these drugs are dangerous and it's only for your own good, because if you know what you're doing, you can drink these teas of them and eat them. I honestly can. But they tell you to be careful, because if you are not skilled and you don't know any better, and you ingest too much of it, then it can harm you. A lot of artists and stuff, make wonderful music and great paintings, and they're very creative when they're on these particular drugs, like nightshades. Some of your nightshades are, like I say, Dentura and Dentura. That's one of them. They're really cute. They're little purple flowers that look like umbrellas turned upside down. So it's like a warning. If you see the flowers turned upside down, it's sort of like a warning. Hey, look, check this out. You might not want to touch me, because if you get some of this spirit in you, you might not do so well. And you have your foxgloves. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know y'all gonna check it out. If I'm not mistaken, foxgloves, they point downward too. Foxgloves are definitely nothing you want to ingest. They don't necessarily trip you, but they will definitely trip you out. You probably won't come back, because they work on your heart. A foxglove will actually, it contains a substance that is found in heart medication called digitalis. So digitalis works on the heart. It can actually stop your heart from beating. So you definitely don't want to mess with foxgloves. But the bells turn downward. They look like little bells. Flowers turn down. They're very beautiful. I had a foxglove here 3 or 4 of them, they're not there anymore because we had massive water, which I'm glad to have the water. Mr. Lord was like, "Are you tired of this rain?" No, because my grass is beautiful and everything else, but I'll just grow more foxgloves because I grow them from seeds. They're very, very, very difficult to grow. Some people may just grow them real, just like it's nothing, but if you're going to grow them, you have to grow them in trays because the seeds are just like powder, almost. They're just that tiny to grow. But a master gardener, I'm not saying I'm a master gardener, by no means am I. But there are master gardeners that have greenhouses, and these people, all day long, dedicate their lives to growing hard to grow plants like foxgloves and the tiny little seedlings, and they could just do a little bit of everything. If I had a professional greenhouse and I could dedicate myself to something like that, because I think not only do you have to have the gift in the hand for plants, I think mainly you can have the gift in the hand all day long. That means nothing if you're not dedicated to it. That's the main thing, to be dedicated to it, and then after dedication, it would take, you have to be determined at the same time too, to get that plant to grow, because the soil has to be mixed right. You have to have so much fertilizer, nutrients, and minerals in that, and you have to know that for each particular plant. I kind of see gardening like, I see art, being an artist. You can be an artist, and and artist is so broad, because you could be a guitar player, you could be a saxophone player, you can do, that's all art to me. You can be a dancer. So now you got to narrow it down to, you got to filter art. Now you've gotten it down to something I really love, and I want to talk about it, is, and when it comes to creating, and still, okay, that still needs some more filter. Let's get down to what I love, just being able to get on a canvas or sculpting, and even then you got to, you see what I'm saying? It's like that too with gardening. So now we've gotten it down to painting, because we just put sculpting and pottery and macrame, and you see all of these broad places. So now, I'm a painter, but you got some people that are sketchers. They like to sketch. You got that. Now, okay, we down to the canvas, we're down to painting, but look at all of the different things you can do with paintings, mixed medias or oils, or acrylics or watercolors. Gardening is the same, because artists are trying to master their work. So how are you going to master all of those things? So we tend to concentrate on a particular medium. My medium is oils. I love oils, so I'm concentrating on them. Sometimes I'll introduce acrylics because it makes the work a little easier. Oils are very difficult because they require a lot of time, because they have to dry and then you apply, and it's very, very, very expensive. Watercolors are too. That's if you really want, what they call professional. They get very, very expensive. Well, now in gardening, you got that too. So gardeners are really root workers. So you're not going to be able to master every plant. So most gardeners may, be specific in, oh, I love to grow foxgloves. So, I'm getting ready to go to a seminar class that costs $250, and it's just all about gardening. You get a chance to meet other gardeners and collab and network, and make some hookups, which I really enjoy those things, because you may be able to find a gardener that is really good at something that you want to grow, because it grows for this particular person does not mean it will grow for me, because there's a spirit in the plant, and it's almost like that plant has to favor you. Okay, sometimes it could be where you are. You can be in a place, and that particular plant, herb, or whatever, doesn't too much like the setting and the location. So, like I would love to grow rice, but rice is not going to necessarily grow here unless I make a lot of changes. And I'm not really sure how to do all of those different things. So people will tend to concentrate on that particular plant that favors them. Because I can favor a plant all day long. If it doesn't favor my energy, it's not going to grow. The plants that, there are some plants I would love to have, but they're very difficult to grow. One in particular I love, and I've had a passion fruit. Now, I'm not talking about buying a plant out of the store. I'm talking about seeds. I work primarily with seed plants. I mean, with seeds, not seedlings. Okay, you can do seedlings or mature plants. A seedling, when it's a little bitty something baby, you know, they have to stay in pots until they mature, and then they can go out on the ground or wherever you want to put them, or they graduate up to a larger pot if they're going to be a house plant. But I'm talking about seeds, and seeds are not easy to grow. And I've been trying to master growing particular seeds. A lot of seeds that I tried to grow didn't necessarily do anything. Seeds that I grew very easily at the other house did not necessarily do that, because I got overwhelmed. So that's why we like to narrow down what we really like. At the other house I had cilantro, and I had I've had a difficult time growing, and these are our, what I'm going to bring up, these are our herbs that we use in our recipes for spell work and conjure. Cilantro, you can use that, and that's more or less a healing. You can use it as a healing herb, okay? I did good at the other house, not so great here. Sometimes, some years it's your year, sometimes it's not your year. Last year, bell peppers were good for me from seeds. This year, the bell peppers are just stuck. See, so it's so much work. That's why I encourage people who are root working to get these farmers almanacs, because that's all of that is conjure, because it's going to tell you when the alignment, the house or the star system or whatever is in alignment with whatever type of work you're going to do when you're doing. Because I'm telling you, those people were masters back in the days when it came to growing things and doing their work with the moon, with the sun, and the astrological lineups and stuff like that. You know, all of that stuff, if the elements are all right, you will definitely conjure that particular day or that night. And that's the excitement. You're like, I got it right. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you do it again, that you're going to get, you know, what you're looking for. Like, you ever notice you can bake a cake, women, and that cake just turns out awesome, but use that same recipe and it's kind of off. It doesn't taste quite the same. Well, it's just depending on your energy and what spirits are working with you for the moment, because you need to know that cooking is it's a spell. It's spirit work. You know what I'm saying? That's why also you can have two different people cooking right there beside each other, same exact recipe, measure everything the same, and they're not going to taste the same, because it depends on the energy that is going in the food. Like, you may go to a restaurant one day, you're like, damn, who cooked this? This is delicious, and go back and it's not good. Well, oh, she wasn't at work today. She was off, you know. You're like, oh, man, just let me know when she coming, because I don't want none of it unless she's cooking it. I don't want to eat it, you know. And but that same lady can be in a bad mood, spirit's not working with her, things ain't right, got problems at home, you know. And you see what I'm saying? And that food still ain't, you know, you be like, yeah, girl, what's going on? I mean, this don't taste like it usually tastes. So, you know, some of your herbs, what's difficult for me to grow shit by just about everything. Rosemary is hard to grow for me, because I've been trying to grow them from seeds. Sage, I have not been successful. It grows so big and they stunt. That's another problem. Here I have had a lot of stunted plants. Plants stunt very easily here for me. Even sometimes I notice the plants tend to do a dip and a curve, All of these things are spirits and elements that may not be necessarily working with me, or some of my energy can be making some of these things curve. And y'all gardeners may know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people probably may not know what I'm talking about. But for people who are gardening or contemplating gardening and stuff, you know, you may encounter something where your plant may be doing something very unique to something that you may not be used to, or no one else can figure out what is going on. Because I do have a cacti over here. Let me show it to y'all. Y'all look at this cactus. See this little cactus baby? Ah! It's not as big as it look here. Here, it looks like a big booker, okay? His name is Keith. And Keith, if you look at Keith, he will stick you. Very sharp. But I got him when he was this big, and I got him off of eBay, that tiny, I think. He was just about down there. As you can see, when the other grower had him, see that? When the other grower had him, it was a little round, and then as it grew, when I had it, it started shifting and curving. It's going with my energy. Kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So anyways, just about all my plants do a dip and a curve like that, and that kind of started look like a few years back. Ever since the 2011 tornado, most of my plants have been doing that. So, don't y'all agree that this is very in-depth when you root work? You know what I'm saying? Witch is a very broad term, because you could be a witch and not necessarily garden, not necessarily connect with any kind of nature or whatever. But they say we all connect with nature, but I don't think that that's necessarily true. You can be a witch and be destructive to nature and not even care anything about nature, and just go in and just tear up a place and have no heart. Just do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can just do what they do. But when you're dealing with these other things like priestess, and all of these other different things, people actually expect for you to perform. And even with witch too. So I don't want to get the two confused. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, witch is very broad spectrum. But if you see there's a priest, you know you're going to go to this priest. This priest is going to pray over you. This priest is going to do some work, get you well. This priest is going to do this and that. But with the priest, we ain't necessarily thinking that he is going to go in and do a lot of things that a root worker or conjurer will do. A root worker conjurer is a person that you want to go to if you need to see something happen. If you just want to see something materialize, you know what I'm saying? Witches can do that too. You see what I'm saying? But you know you are going to somebody specific when there's no confusion when you say I am going to a conjurer. Because you can't say, well, you know, we got the wicked reed and harm none. You know, if you're going to a root worker or conjurer, that does not apply. You do have some witches that are, once again, that are solitary, and they do what they whilst, okay? But we know for sure that if you go into a conjurer, there is no doubt about it. This is the person you got to go and see if you want revenge for somebody who has done you dirty, okay? This is who you're going to. You're going to the root worker because you know you want to plant something on somebody that done you dirty, okay? That's why you're going to these places. So root workers and conjurers, they're kind of the same. I think the difference between a root worker and a conjurer, if you ask me, since they kind of got a similarity of working with herbs and stuff like that, a conjurer sometimes can freestyle. She don't necessarily need any tools. He don't need any tools, or he don't need any plants or herbs, but he's still at the same time working. But you will see a root worker. A root worker will be working with the roots. They're going to work with the roots. Also, with the root workers tend to, you know, deal with healing, and so do the conjurer. But I know that if I'm trying to get well from ailment, from ailment, I want to go to a root worker. Okay, I want to go to an herbalist, as they call it. I want you to help me, with this situation. You know what I'm saying? But then you're dealing with the conjurer. She's going to deal with these roots on not only on a healing perspective, if that's what she's gonna do, or something physical, but she's working spiritually too. She's working also on a magical level with that same plant. That's why if y'all gonna get into this, y'all need to know the physical properties as well as the magical properties. You need to know both, because these plants not only have the physical property of being able to use this and set somebody's mouth on fire, and they be like, dang, I ain't coming back here to eat no more, honey. You know how the person is, every time turn around, they coming and they eating up all your food. You just give them some of these good old cayenne peppers, they ain't coming back. So now you've killed two birds with one stone. Not only is this person's mouth is really, really hot and they don't like the food, they can't come back, but you've taken care of them on a magical perspective too, because you've stopped them from coming. You have stopped them. You know what I'm saying? You have put a roadblock up between you and them, because you just didn't have the heart to say, stop coming over here and eating up all my food. I am sick of this here. Every time I turn around, see, they ain't coming back. Okay, so this has a dual purpose. I said all that to say this. This cayenne pepper has a dual purpose. It's a very masculine herb. It's very masculine. This is effective for whoever want to work it, but it does less harm to a man than it does a woman. And I want to tell y'all about an experience. A man can put these down and he can handle it. A woman can put this down, she may wind up in the hospital, depending on what kind of work she does. I tell you what, after what happened to me, I'm letting Mr. Willie put this down now. This can protect you, like I said. For protection with something like this, you really are in a situation where you need protection, like, protection from the law, or like protection from an individual that may be stalking you, or, you got a man, you don't want to come back to your house, he's dangerous to you, he's dangerous to your children. You saying enough is enough, stay away from me. This is what you need, you know what I'm saying? You can put them down around your house if you think somebody might break in, somebody be coming up in your yard. Here we go. Protection at the same time too. Like I said, you can use it to run folks off, which that's almost the same. But you can get revenge, and you can run people off their property with this stuff too. Now, what you need to do if you want to run folks off their property and stuff like that, it's totally up to you. I ain't going to get into that, but know that your heart can bust wide open. Okay, because this is a spirit in this. I always tell y'all, whatever type of work you do to somebody, you gonna feel it too. If you ain't feeling that work, then that means ain't nothing gonna happen. So if you tell me, oh, Mom, I went on over there, honey, and I put them peppers down, girl, it was a cinch. Oh, it was, okay. I call you, how you doing? I'm doing good, girl. I'm doing good. I done put them peppers down and everything. I'm just watching it away. You ain't feeling nothing? I ain't feeling nothing, because I ain't going to tell you nothing. I ain't feeling nothing. I said, you mean to tell me you ain't feeling nothing? You don't feel nothing? Your heart ain't beating kind of fast? No, you ain't nothing? I know you ain't putting nothing down. You got some people that won't put nothing down. They want to just send their money and do nothing. No, we both going to be working. I ain't finna do it all by myself, because you got to prove to the spirit you want what you want. You got to go down there and put these peppers down. You gonna lay them, okay? You gonna lay them. And everybody can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't. But I always tell folks now, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna handle these things, make you sure you know what you're doing. And they definitely do work. They work. People say, well, I can handle it. They tell me, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? My pressure was up high. It was hard to get it down. And, whatever. Because I tell everybody, if you handle this, you better know what you're doing when you put them down. I got this. I got this. Look, I had to handle these. One night I found my rose bush, y'all. And I went over there. This is the story I wanted to tell y'all. and I'm trying to come down off of it. I'm doing a whole lot of I went to, I saw my rose bushes. The spirit was my rose bush to show me where it was. It was in an open field, and it was not an open field. It was actually someone's property where it was, and it was like some little kids, you know, doing a prank. I was told by Mr. Lord that the guy had been in a serious car wreck and everything. The people who own that particular big old field over there, and so I went down there after I found it. The spirit showed me where it was. It was, they planted it by a big old tall tree. Look, the tree had to be very old because the trunk span on it was very, very large. I'm like, that tree had to been 100 and some years old. And so I said, okay. I said, okay, so you gonna lay it over to the side. All right, I got you. I saw it on the side of the road, the pretty little flowers, pink flowers and everything. I said, my bush. 12 tonight, I'm going to get my bush during the witching hour. I'm going to call them back. Witching hour showed up and everything. I went down there and got my shit. I went down there, I was dressed up like a man, smoking me a cigar and everything. And I had I always put my man clothes on when I'm doing something like that. My big old pants and my shirt, my hat, and I smoke me a cigar, and them cigars be tearing my chest up, man. I only just do that when I'm doing work, to feed the masculine side of myself, the masculine spirits and stuff. So I go down there and everything. It was about like 12:30 in the morning, and my heart was beating fast because I was scared as hell, because I was worried that you know, they'll see me over there late in the night. Went down there. Got my bush back, okay? I got mine. Well, I look like, saying I'm a witch. I got somebody somehow got my stuff randomly on the side of the road. So I went down there and got it and everything. Didn't get all the root up, so I wasn't gonna make it. So I just said, hell, let me just get it to show them they ain't finna keep my property. You know, so I went down there and some said, make sure you put them peppers down. Got them cayenne peppers and put it in the hole. Like I said, you got to feel something. I ain't nothing happening. What the peppers is for? Peppers is to punish. Some peppers is to move them on the property. Pepper is to teach them a lesson. So I went and I put the peppers down in a little hole and stuff. I just go home. The first thing I felt when I laid down is like this terror. Like this fear just took me, and I was like, you know, for no reason. I'm like, what is this frightening me? And I still didn't correlate that with this. This stuff is real. Make sure you know what you're doing. You can put it on folks' cars, all that. I had a man, I'm going to tell you about his story one day when I got time. I had a man that put a little dip in the back of my little truck. I laid the cayenne peppers on his car, on his truck, okay? On his van. And he had a huge dent. Like, it took a while because I did it in March, and it took about sometime like around July, something like that, before he wound up with a big old huge dent on the side of his car. You see, so you this right here, it's gonna work. It ain't no I don't believe in that. Look it up. So anyways, you put them on your lovers' things. If they ain't acting right, put them on their shit. You know what I'm saying? To make them act right. If you put that in the crouch of her pants, she down there, she gonna be hot. If you put him on the ass of his, the seat of his pants, his booty gonna be hot. See, a lot of y'all around here burning and don't know why. Okay, so anyways, don't get mad now. I'm just teaching you the dirty side of conjure work and hoodoo. Okay, what folks do to you. So I felt that terror. And it just quickly went away. That's why I had my little copper cross on that I don't need. I don't keep that on because people can try to take energy from you too by putting copper on. Okay, so know that. Okay, so I went on ahead on and I just wanted to sleep, and then I noticed it the next night. Then I kind of noticed that I was just feeling really strange, just this terror all night after night after night after night. And, you know, some of these little symptoms of just feeling like I had 8 cayenne peppers. And I had to put two and two together. I was like, damn, them goddamn cayenne peppers. Because somebody else who said they had laid them down, their pressure shot up and they couldn't get it down. Blood pressure was up from these peppers. Know what you doing. Now, if a man had laid them, he'd have been fine. Okay, so if you ever see something like this right here dusted on your stairs or whatever, somebody done hoodooed you. Okay, y'all. That's one for you. Please rate and subscribe. And Mama will be back with some more gems, jewels, and guess what? Some CONjURE nuggets. Okay? Bye-bye, y'all. Boom.